Okie dokie. Welcome. Okay, our first question, and certainly because there's a good group of you guys, let's start out with an introduction and for which precinct you're running. Our first question tonight is, what are some areas in which Potter County and the city of Amarillo have been or should be working together for their citizens?
Okay. My name is John Coffey. I'm running for Potter County Commission, re-election for Potter County Commission for Precinct 3. I've worked for the Potter County Sheriff's Office. I retired from there after 35 years, and so I ran for office and was elected. So this is my fourth year of my first term. Is that the iteration you wanted?
That's great. And do you want to go ahead and address the question?
Can you read to me?
Yes, sir. Some areas in which Potter County and the city of Amarillo have been or should be working together for their citizens.
Well, I think we work very well together with our citizens. I have a good relationship, as does the other members on the board, with the city elected officials and other appointed folks. I don't know what more we can do other than continue to build that relationship and moving forward. And there's a jail overcrowding issue in our county, whereas the Brown County building jail. So there's an issue there. We're trying to figure out how they're going to work those contracts out. I wish we had the space to have our own contract with the city and we could compete. Maybe we could be part of maybe as Roger Short said, maybe the Randall County jail could handle the Randall County city prisoners, and the Potter County jail could handle the Potter County city inmates.
Yeah.
My name is Kim Gray, and I'm running for Potter County Commissioner, Precinct 3. I feel like in order to have a relationship, more communication, the city of Amarillo and Potter County are, to me, one and the same, but obviously they're different. We have situations such as overcrowded, Potter County Sheriff's Department, 600 about of the inmates. This has been an ongoing problem for quite a long time, years actually. We're understaffed at our Sheriff's Department. I think that communication, a more personal connection, everyone to get together and just try to work harder at being better with each other, being kinder, being more understanding, and sitting down and just having conversations, just have a relationship, and working on some of the things that need to be addressed, because we have some serious issues going on that really need to be taken care of quickly.
Thank you. Mayor?
Hi, I'm Chip Hunt. I'm running for Potter County Commission, Precinct 1. I believe that a lot of our problem that we need to address is that we need a lot better communication. We need to ask our taxpayers what they want instead of just going out and issuing certificates of obligation and committing them to 30 years on their property tax. I believe that we need to look at when it's brought to the commission that they need to look at a better way to do our ballots for our voting, that we should listen and we should actually take into effect and actually consider what is best for our communities. I feel that the commissioners aren't talking right now to the people. They're not asking them what they really want, and they're just doing what they want to do on their own. And that's how I feel that we need to get better on the communication levels, and we need to get out there and actually talk to the people and actually let them know what it is that we do. Thank you.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. I wanted to thank everybody for inviting us here today. I want to give you a little background on me. I am running for re-election for County Commissioner Precinct 1, Potter County. I'm a Massachusetts native. I grew up one of 12 kids, so that gives you some background of how my decisions are made. I'm an Irish-Italian Catholic. I got here via the United States Air Force. I came here in 1963, and it was the best thing that ever happened in my life was to get to Amarillo. 41 years with the Amarillo Police Department, so I have worked with the city quite a bit in those past 41 years. As far as the city and the county, I think we get along pretty well. We talked about some issues. We don't have a whole lot of difficulty with the city. They're pretty good. I worked with Mayor Paul Harpole on the Tiers Board to bring the ballpark here to Amarillo back a few years ago. So that's one of the items that we deal with the city. And there's others, and I won't go into too much detail. And at that time, I'll pass it to David.
Good evening, everyone. My name is David Martinez. I'm an educator for Amarillo Independent School District and have been for close to 15 years. I've spent the majority of that time teaching middle school science at Bowie Middle School, along with serving as the sponsor of a state-recognized student council and a coach of a championship-winning soccer team. To address the question, I think the city of Amarillo and the Potter County need to be working together to make sure that we are keeping our local talent here. And what I mean by that is making sure that our graduates have an opportunity to either stay here or come back here. So with that being said, I think we need to focus on economic development and making sure that they have opportunities here that aren't afforded to them already. So City of Amarillo, EDC, Potter County, Amarillo College, West Texas A&M, I think should be working in conjunction to make sure that we can make that possible.
Thank you. Our second question, Ms. Gray, you'll take this. Similarly as Randall County, unincorporated areas of Potter County are experiencing huge amounts of growth. How should commissioners deal with this growth, and how is it likely to affect taxpayers?
Well, as far as the growth, I don't see that Potter County is doing a lot of growing. We actually seem to be minimizing somewhat. Randall County seems to be growing and Potter County seems to be shrinking. But as far as how to deal with it, if we were to start growing, I would believe that possibly trying to bring in new business into Potter County to bring in more revenue. But now, and specifically with
Yeah, if I could clarify, I think the heart of the question is unincorporated areas like such as Bushland. So like the growth that we are seeing in some of those areas, what are the tax implications on Potter County, whatever, in those areas of remarkable growth, such as Bushland? I understand your note about generally, but in those areas.
Well, and I've never been a commissioner, so it's very difficult for me to say what I would do. I would think that that would be something that all commissioners would work together and maybe make some decisions on. But obviously, well, I guess I just really can't give an answer for it. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I think that the commissioners deal pretty good with the growth of the county, and I agree with Ms. Gray that we have seen a lot of the Potter County people moving south. But I feel like if we could start taking some of the builders and encouraging them more to build some of the better areas in River Road or Rolling Hills and getting further out these areas. And we also have to build them up so that we can have enough tax base to hire enough sheriff's deputies to patrol these areas and take care of these areas. Because with the growth, you have to have more responders. So we need the builders to start getting, and part of the problem that I've heard from a lot of the builders that they've had problems with is maintaining permits and getting things done through the cities, and through the county, getting their permits and stuff like that, to do the stuff that they need to do out there, to put planned developments out there. And that's where I would go with it.
Well, our issue is that the Potter County is not growing. We're kind of stable in where we're at. Our tax base is higher than Randall County by probably 2 or 3%. And people are going to Randall County because of that. The Bushland area has slowed down, and I think John's going to talk about that a little bit. Building has somewhat stopped, and a lot of those things are being abandoned. So we do have an issue with our tax base. I don't have a whole lot of answers how to correct it and get that taken care of. However, we're working at it. We've got a good commission, got a good judge, and hopefully continue to work on behalf of the citizens of Potter County, and hopefully it'll continue to put me in office. Appreciate that.
The largest growing demographic in Potter County are residents who are 55 years and older. So people aren't necessarily flocking to Potter County at this particular moment in time. So with that being said, I think quality of life is very important. And to answer back to Mr. Kelly's question, I do have some ideas on how we can increase our tax base, and one of those is to make sure we have the funds to open Crossbar Ranch. In 2019, Texas A&M put out a study that showed that it would create close to $20 million in revenue for the city, and that was in 2019. So I'm only certain that figure has increased since then. So quality of life issue, that's going to be, I think, an important issue moving forward.
Well, so the panel's right. The county has shrank according to the last census, and more people are moving to Randall County. They have a lower tax rate. A lot of the problems are in Potter County is that we're landlocked. There's just not a lot of land for building, but we do have a few new developments coming in, and one of which is relatively new, Highland Park Drive, an area out off the loop, and the Amazon facility. It's called Buffalo Highlands, and they are going to develop that, and I think it's going to have around 500 homes in there, so that's going to help increase the tax base. Obviously, we need to have a tax base to help with offset the expenses, and then hopefully bring down some of the costs to our citizens. And I have worked tirelessly on that, trying to figure out how we can do that. And so it's a delicate balance to try to provide the great service that the Potter County Commissioner's Court, the Sheriff's Office, and just the employees as a whole have been expected to do for our citizens. And just the cost of everything just keeps going up. And so it is very difficult to make everything work. It is difficult. But there are new developments coming in. We have given some tax abatements, and we've designed those through Kevin Carter with the ADC, and I've run a point on some of those to, in fact, to try to get those where we're not just giving a 10-year tax incentive, we're giving a staggered tax incentive, and in that we start off with 10%, and then it goes to 20%, and then 30%, 40%, and so on down the line. And so we are getting some money. But when we give these incentives, these properties are sitting out there vacant, and the ADC has bought these properties. We're not getting anything but just the land tax itself.
Thank you. Our audience question now, and Ms. Hunt, you'll begin with this one. The Potter County Attorney is responsible for enforcing open records requests. He's also legal counsel for the County Commissioner's Court. If elected, do you have what it takes to make sure the county attorney enforces open records requests? Ms. Hunt?
Yes, I do, and that's a very simple question, very simple answer. There is no reason why we should not have open records at all times, and I think that people need to be able to have those records whenever they request them. Thank you.
Also, as far as open records, our county attorney is very good at taking care of those issues. We don't have an issue there with open records, as far as I'm concerned right now. And I'll just leave it at that. The open records are constant and they're always available.
My answer to that question is yes. I think transparency is key, and once we lose that trust, then I think that's whenever bad things can happen as far as the public's perception. So the answer to that question is yes.
The county attorney is elected just like the commissioners court, just like the other elected officials. We can't make them do anything. But I will tell you that Scott Burnley and his team is doing an excellent job of getting out those open records requests. We have 10 days to answer those, and they're getting those out within that time frame. They're doing a great job with it. I have no issues that we've had with open records and the fact that they're not being answered in a timely manner. Really, I'm kind of perplexed by this question. I'd rather have a more challenging one.
Well, I didn't ask that one, but y'all didn't like the last one either, so.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to kind of turn it on the other side of that. Just recently, actually, my husband called to see about getting some information that any taxpayer, any citizen should be able to call and get, and it shouldn't be anything of difficulty to do that. We should be able to pick up the phone and call and speak to someone. And if they cannot give the information over the telephone, at least just give us the avenue that we need to take in order to get the information we're looking for. And neither of those things were available. And it was a simple question: where can we find the permits that were pulled to build the new courthouse? You know, I had some questions, and I wanted to know about the permits, and I have heard, and I'm not able to get a lot of information, that the courthouse that is standing, that was built in 1986, has been deemed dilapidated. And if that's the case, then was there a PE, a professional engineer, brought in? And if so, what was it coded? You know, we could go from immediate evacuation to 5 years, depending on the code. So I kind of wanted to know some of these things about the decisions that were made. And so I do think that as far as holding anybody accountable, I don't know how the system works. I have never been a county or a county commissioner. I think that would be the part of learning a new job. But I can tell you that as far as a citizen making a phone call, trying to get a simple answer, that this is supposed to be transparent and open, and we were not able to get anything other than sent off into a direction that is kind of a wild goose chase, is the way we felt. So I don't know if I could hold the judge. I don't know if I could, as John said, we can't force them to do anything, but I do believe that we do need some stricter laws in place for transparency.
Thank you, candidates. Thank you very much.